Good evening and welcome to the City of Lenoir City Council meeting for Tuesday, October 16th, 2018. We welcome you here this evening. And as we normally do in just a few minutes, we will rise and remain standing for a moment of silence. And then we will remain standing also for our Pledge of Allegiance to our country. As we go to our moment of silence, we would like for you to continue and keep in your thoughts and prayers our cities down east from us who are still recovering from Hurricane Florence, and those who even were hit this past weekend by Hurricane Michael. Our state has been hit pretty hard over the last few weeks, and there's still a lot of our neighbors that are recovering and trying to regain power and do things in their communities. So please keep them in your thoughts and prayers as they continue to recover. Now, if you will, please rise and remain standing for a moment of silence in our pledge. Thank you. Please salute the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Tonight, our first order of business, as before we move into our audit report, we have some special guests with us this evening that we would like to recognize and introduce to you. We are so glad to have a special group from the Teaching Excellence and Achievement Fellows Program. It's part of the United States Department of State Bureau of Educational and Cultural Affairs, and they are in partnership with Appalachian State University, and we certainly welcome them. I got to enjoy meeting them all Sunday at the home of Alan and Christy Arney and Alan Miller at their home on Sunday. We had a great time meeting. There are 19 teaching fellows here from 18 different countries. Now, not everyone could be with us tonight, but I'm so glad that y'all were able to come out. I'm going to ask you, if you will, to just introduce yourself, tell us where you're from, if you don't mind, and we have some gifts to give to you, and as we welcome you here, and we hope you were enjoying your stay with us in Lenoir. We were laughing a little bit Sunday, and I think it was the gentleman from Egypt that I was talking with. He said, I'm just from a small town outside of Cairo, 400,000 people. And I said, well, welcome to a real small town. But Cairo, I think, is 30 million people, so I guess that was a lot smaller than that. But we really enjoyed, had a great time, and I'm glad that you could be with us tonight. Thank you for coming and sharing with us. So if you will, please stand up and introduce yourself, if you will. Yeah,
of course. My name is Juan Altuve. I'm from Venezuela. You have a lovely town. Thank you very much. You are great people, and I having a great time with you. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Umar Sisse. I'm from Mali in West Africa. Just to ensure you that I enjoyed every step of my stay here. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I am Arsenio Romero from Panama in Central America, and it's a pleasure for me, and thank you for inviting us to this meeting. And I've been enjoying as my friends, my fellows, every single moment, and this experience that it's gonna give me such a wonderful takeaway to go back to my country and put into practice in my teaching daily. Thank you.
He's going to be an announcer one day, I'm telling you. He introduced everybody on Sunday and had them come up, and we shook hands, and he did a great job. It was a lot of fun. I hope somebody got that on film. I really do. Good. Go ahead.
Yes. I'm Nirosha from Sri Lanka, and thank you very much for inviting us for this meeting. And I'm also enjoying every moment in America. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Hello, I'm Svetlana from Ukraine. We are very happy to be here and to be with us, and we are happy to have our amazing host family, Alan and Christy. So we are grateful for them, for each moment that we spend there. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Isma Tayar and I come from Algeria, the north west of Africa. I'm happy to be among you today. Thank you for letting us or for giving us this opportunity, and really different minds but big hearts, warm hearts, especially with the warm people that we have met. We had the opportunity to meet Mr. Allen and Christy Murray. Thank you for all of you.
Thank you.
I'm Representative Kamanga from Malawi. I'm very happy to be here, and special thanks to the Department of State for sponsoring this particular program. It has given me a wonderful opportunity to have an experience of the U.S. classroom culture. Thank you.
Thank you. Christy, thank you for hosting them, and I'll let you tell a little bit about some of the experience. I know that you guys have now been doing this for a number of years, and we found out Sunday this has been almost 55 countries that have visited your home and had an opportunity. So thank you very much for what you do. I saw Alan. There he is. But
yeah, we love, this is our favorite time of year that we have these teachers coming in, and they're in our area for about 6 weeks, and we try to do as much as we can, and we've just learned so much, and we travel every year, and we don't even leave,
right.
leave the area by having this. So it's really wonderful, wonderful people. And just so you know, I mean, these teachers have competed in their countries for these positions. So I know Svetlana was one of 4 who got 4 positions out of 500 people applying for this position. So I mean, these are the best of the best. So, yeah. We're very
I'm wearing a pin that 2 young ladies gave me from Thailand. I know they couldn't be here tonight, but I certainly was honored to receive that, and they were very nice to be a part.
Do you care? Some of these, they have so many invitations. They're getting ready to leave Caldwell County to go back to Boone on Friday. So they're partnering with teachers at High Brighton, and some of these guys are partnering in East Burke. Some are going to have to leave a little bit. Do we mind if we put them up there for a second and take a picture?
We're going to. Yeah, I was going after we finish this, we're going to do that. We have some gifts that we're going to give them to take back with them. I gave them a pin, but I have a couple other things I like for you, souvenirs from being in our fair city. We're glad to have you.
Thank you.
Well, thank you. Yeah, we're going to do that right now, if that's okay. Let's just shoot a picture. Yeah. We'll do it in front here.
Now with the flash. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's change something else.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You spelled wooden. I did. Big spell check. There you go. You need to get a like a 2 horsepower motor.
Fell down the other day.
You don't have to get everybody.
Goes to
You don't have to hold it down.
These insurance guys, I tell you, don't pay claims.
You're welcome. And one other thing I will add to that, in Christy and Alan's backyard, they have a totem pole, as I call it, but it's the flags of all the countries that have been to your home, almost all of them, and it has the mileage from their country to here. So on that, if you ever go to Kristen Allen's, go in their backyard. It's a great piece. We actually have a picture of it. We shot the other day of that. But anyway, that's a great piece. So.
And Narosha's from the furthest. She's from Sri Lanka, and she's over 9,000 miles away.
9,000
miles. Yes.
Thank you. Thank you for being with us. Okay, we'll move on into our agenda this evening, and first thing is the audit report from our FY 2017-2018. Eric Bowman, PA, is here to present that to us, to the City Council. Eric, welcome. Glad to have you.
This may be a little boring for the teaching fellows, but we'll get as quick as we can.
Eric, it may be boring for everybody.
Yes, I may. Very well could be. I think y'all got some Xerox copies of a couple of the pages in the report. The report's 143 pages, and we're not going to tackle all that tonight. So just these 4 or 5 pages is all we're going to go over. The first page you've got is a statement of revenues and expenditures for governmental funds. All we're going to look at is that first column, general funds. And you'll notice all the way down to the bottom, if you move up 3 lines, you see net change in fund balance, $1.5 million positive. So you couple that with the $2 million increase we had last year, and we had 2 fantastic years. And that brings our total fund balance then, the last number on that page, $10.3 million. So if you flip over the page, we'll kind of talk about that fund balance just a little bit. This is the balance sheet for governmental funds, but we're just going to talk about the general fund, excluding capital assets and debt. And if you'll notice again, the last number in that first column, if you move up 1 column, you'll see our $10.3 million again. Move up 1 other number, and you see unassigned or unrestricted, $8.4 million. You may remember in the past we tried to keep a fund balance of 24%. Well, now that's up to 52%. 24% is basically 3 months of expenditures and reserves, and now you have 6 months. So just doing extremely well in the general fund. Flipping over to the third page we've got is a revenue expenditure statement for the water and sewer operating fund, excluding capital projects. And the third line at the top, you'll see revenues exceeded expenditures by $1.9 million. That's the best I can ever remember being here. Just fantastic. A lot of that, and actually a lot of the general fund increase is from cutting expenditures. And I know the staff has worked real hard. I know Donna's worked real hard with them to cut expenses, and it certainly showed up in these in both of these funds. So both those funds are very strong. The next page, just briefly, I just wanted to mention that when we look at the water and sewer balance sheet, we take a little bit different look. If you take the cash and receivables and compare it to current liabilities, you get a ratio of 3.6. Most businesses, if they have 2.1 or over, they feel real good. So that gives you an idea of how solid the water and sewer fund now is with a 3.6 ratio. The last thing we'll talk about is page 14 is your long-term debt. The last 2 columns there, 2018 and 2017, you'll see that our debt is 15.5 last year, 14.4. So it went up $1.1 million. The good news is all that was at 0 interest, so it almost didn't matter. Of course, all of that was for water and sewer capital projects. But of that $15.5 million, I want to point out, as we did last year, that 60% of that is at 0 interest. So, we only have 40% of our debt that we're paying any interest on at all. So, I probably said this last year, the city is in as good shape as it possibly can be. Well, you're in better shape than you were last year. So, if you've got some questions, we'll answer them. Or Donna, you might want to interject something.
Yeah, anybody have any questions for Eric or Donna or Mr. Hildebrand?
Eric, you've covered this before, but if we go back to page 18 on the fund balances.
Yeah.
The unassigned and the restricted, can you give us, for me, maybe the others know it, I'm sorry. The restricted, tell us a little bit about what the restrictions are, what percentages.
Yeah, there's a number there to see stabilization by state statute. The local government commission says you need some working capital, and so that's basically your receivables. So they say, we're not going to let you appropriate your receivables. You need that to kind of start out with. Substance control, Donnie, you might want to speak to that. I think that's just money that public safety is restricted for. It's,
Primarily, that's like forfeiture funds.
yeah. And then the public safety, that's some other restrictions, 300,000.
I think that's what I thought you were talking about. 300,000 is like for the forfeiture.
So those monies are, they keep up with the revenues expenses themselves. And since they're restricted just for public safety, they don't get into our unrestricted number. I don't know if that kind of explains what you're asking or not.
It does. The stabilization of state statute, so that's essentially, you said, our receivables.
Yeah.
Okay, that's my question.
Good question.
Any other questions? Thank you very much.
Thanks, I appreciate it very much.
We appreciate the work, and we appreciate all of our department heads and our staff, all the hard work you're doing. And it's obviously reflecting and we're saving money. Good thing that we do, but also we're taking care of our citizens.
And also sold the property to Watershed last year.
Yeah, that's true.
That's part of it too.
The watershed property. Okay. All right, so we will need a motion to accept the audit as presented by Mr. Bowman from the council.
Motion to accept the audit as presented.
We have a motion from Councilmember Thomas to accept the FY 2017-2018 audit report as presented. Any discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Okay, our next is update from Caldwell UNC Healthcare. We welcome Mrs. Laura Easton, the President and Chief Executive Officer of Caldwell UNC Healthcare. We're honored to have you tonight. Thank you for coming and telling us all the good things that are happening at our great hospital. We're really excited.
Thank you very much for having me. Just for a few minutes this evening, taking a little bit of your time. But I wanted to take this opportunity to get out and about in the community, and I've been to all the municipalities and sharing what's happening at the hospital, because I think this is a really exciting time. And the investments in our community and the infrastructure of our community for healthcare are probably the largest and most significant and most transformational they have been since the hospital was formed in 1950. So I didn't want you to miss that. And I want to make sure you hear all the good work that's going on. I have a little PowerPoint here only so that that camera points at that instead of me. So it's not, just a few pictures to talk about. As most of you know, Caldwell Memorial Hospital joined with the University of North Carolina healthcare system in 2013. So we're 5 years into that partnership, and I'm happy to report that it has been an extremely successful partnership for this community. As we thought when we joined the University of North Carolina Health System, their sole purpose is to be North Carolina's health system, and our sole purpose is to be Caldwell County's health system. So we had something very much in common, and that partnership and the common culture has come through over the course of the past 5 years. But right now, we're kind of in the robust part of the partnership in terms of investments for our community. As you know, I'm going to just kind of run through the types of services we're providing, and as you know, we care for women in our community. We have 2 large practices in the community, Laurel Park Women's Health here and Laurel Park Women's Health at the Falls. And you all were definitely strong partners with us in creating the facilities for Laurel Park right here up the road on the old Black Welder property. And I thank you for that partnership. And as you can see, as I go through my presentation, you'll see you, the City of Lenoir, and the hospital have had great partnership in helping us grow. We are kind of proud of what we are accomplishing in pediatrics. When I moved here, we had 1 pediatrician in the entire county. And today we have 12 pediatrician and pediatric nurse practitioners. We have 2 practices, and we have a pediatric urgent care. So almost all the children of Caldwell County are cared for by pediatricians that work for the hospital. We're really involved all throughout all aspects of pediatric life in our community. We're very involved in the schools. We provide the athletic trainers and the sports medicine program for West High School and for High Brighton High School. And We have a number of other really excellent programs I'm very proud of. One of our providers provides a weight management program for children and has had great success in reducing obesity among some of the patients that are in Mulberry Pediatrics. One of our pediatricians is very active in leading a reading program, and so every child that comes to the practice between the age of 6 months and 5 years old gets a book and a prescription to their parent or caregiver saying, read 15 minutes a day to your child. The program was so popular that we had to get donations from our employees to have books for children from 5 to 18 because everyone thought you should always get a book when you go to the doctor. So now we offer that. We also, of course, care for you and your parents, and you're probably most familiar with those services, so I won't talk too much about that. We have a large group of specialty services that I will not elaborate on today. One of the things that's been a really interesting transformation of healthcare in Caldwell County over the past decade is the advent of urgent care. We are about to open our 6th urgent care in December. We see over 30,000 visits a year in urgent care. So it's clearly the way people want to get health care today is they want to go online, make an appointment the same day, come in and be seen. And we have that available. So those urgent care centers are from Rivercrest down by the river all the way up to Blowing Rock. And the urgent care that will be opening in December is in Cages Mountain. And of course, we really work to support and encourage active lifestyles in our community through our orthopedic sports medicine programs, rehabilitation, and our wellness center here. And being here in Lenoir, I know you're very familiar with McCreary Cancer Center. It's a program that has met the needs of our community in a beautiful way. That cancer center is unfortunately very full, very busy, and very well supported by the community. And we have some outstanding providers from faculty at University of North Carolina who are providing the services and care there. So we employ over 900 people. We have about $110 million a year that we spend in the community with the multiplier, 2.1 multiplier. It's quite an economic engine in our community and in our county. Our employees like working at our organization. We ranked in the 99th percentile and in terms of our employee engagement. So we have great employees and they drive all that we do. We were the highest performing group in the UNC Health System. We're kind of proud about that. We do a lot of training and we have many, many students in our organization. My philosophy is we need to grow our own, and so I work very hard to start at the youngest ages, and we have folks who have gone from 10th grade all the way to medical school and come back and practice in our community. So we have Camp Med, we have high school volunteers and internships, we have college students from all of the nursing programs in the region and the radiology programs, the tech programs. We have medical students from University of North Carolina. We have PAs and nurse practitioners from Appalachian and from Lower Rhine College. So any given day in our organization, there's a large group of students. And we had over 100 students just in the summer this year working at the hospital. But the big investments I want to cover quickly for you. You may be familiar, we're in the midst of the Cornerstone Project. The Cornerstone Project is the investments that the University of North Carolina committed to provide to our community when we became a partner with them. It's a $24 million project. It's beginning to take shape from the front, as you can see. Just to break it down very simply for you, $8 million of that is infrastructure in our facilities that no patient really want to look at, but they all appreciate are there, like heating, air conditioning, boilers, chillers, electrical panels that are not 1950, roofing, and the like. So very fundamental stuff. But when you think about like updating your home, it's the kind of infrastructure investments that will last for 30 years and really position the hospital well for a very long time in the future. $8 million of the project is the renovation of the diagnostic imaging area, and that is completely done. And we have all new facilities, equipment, MRI scanners. It's a beautiful facility, and right conveniently when you walk in the hospital now, very state of the art. The last component is underway. That's the second floor, that glass part across the front. Behind that glass is major construction and our operating rooms. We are completely renovating that second floor to be a new surgical suite. We're redoing all of our ORs, all the recovery area, the waiting area, and all of the equipment. So it's a major transformation for the core of the hospital. And we have about $15 million in new technologies that are going in addition. Oops. Around the county, we are bringing up to date all of our medical practices, so they all should be very current and very much accommodating to the way practices work today, which is very different than they did in the past. We work in our practices now in a more multidisciplinary fashion. So we have social workers, we have therapists, we have dietitians, we have nurse navigators, and we have doctors in our practices. So we needed some new facilities to allow us to have that team approach to care that we provide now in our practices. This practice is South Fork Medical Park. It's in Cages Mountain. It's under construction, and it will be completed in December, and that's where our last urgent care will go, in addition to the practice that is there. We've renovated West Point practice in Gamewell and expanded it, and it will also be completed in December. You might be familiar with Rivercrest Medical Park, which was opened at the beginning of this year in Granite Falls. This facility is under construction. I got a picture today. It actually kind of looks like that because the steel went up this week and it's kind of in that shape and form. This is the ambulatory surgery center that we are building in Granite Falls next to Rivercrest Medical Park. It will be a very unique offering for our region. It will be largely focused on orthopedic and spine. We'll be doing very state-of-the-art procedures there with joint replacements, knee and hip replacements, and spine surgery, and all kinds of sports medical care and podiatry care. We have surgeons from Catawba County, Burke County, and Caldwell County that will all be bringing their orthopedic surgical care into Caldwell County, and we'll be providing that on an outpatient basis here. It's a great benefit to employers because the pricing is less, and it's a great benefit to patients because the out-of-pocket is less. And we have the best of the best surgeons who will be doing great care there. So we're very excited about bringing that to Caldwell County. It'll be called Prime Surgical Suites. And lastly, we are going to break ground in December on a service that's greatly needed in Caldwell County. It's a service that I have wanted to offer for quite some time, but now feel with the partnership at University of North Carolina, with the depth of resources they have to offer and the experience and competence that they have in this domain, we're going to be developing a mental health service line. There are no psychiatrists in Caldwell County, and I don't think there ever have been, and there's a significant need. We have probably one of the highest suicide rates in the county, in the state, and that's reflective of the lack of services that are available here. So this new facility and the services that we're developing will involve the recruitment of 3 psychiatrists and 2 psychiatric nurse practitioners. We'll have an outpatient clinic, a family resource center. We will have a 27-bed inpatient unit. And we're also building a 5-bed area contiguous to our emergency room that will better accommodate mental health patients when they're in the emergency room, which we have between 3 and 5 a day individuals who are waiting placement in our emergency room. And this new facility will allow us to begin therapeutic environment and treatment rather than just holding in a very chaotic and busy environment like we have now. So we're very excited about this facility. This is a $7.5 million investment that will be fully funded from grants and donations. We're very grateful we received $4 million from the state of North Carolina, thanks to the very significant support and help that Destin Hall provided to us to get those funds. Additionally, this facility is one that you have helped us with through the Rural Hope Grant, which we're hoping to hear about, I think, as early as the end of this week, which is a grant to support this facility through the investments in creation of new jobs. We expect to have about 50 new jobs associated with this facility.
And where's the foundation going?
The foundation has relocated. It's on, is that Penton Avenue in the old
It's in the old
women's.
women's club.
Oh, yeah,
Okay.
yeah, they've renovated that and they've moved
Okay.
out and will be deconstructing that building in December. So overall, we're working very hard to create investments in this community, in our region. I'm really proud of what we've been able to accomplish and how it builds a foundation for the future to help all of our communities have healthy population. And I'm happy to answer any questions you might have.
Question? Yes, sir.
Go ahead. The outpatient surgery center in Grand Falls,
Yeah.
will that be in addition to the outpatient surgery center that we currently have in Lenore, or will the location in Lenore close when the new one opens?
Hancock Surgery Center, we will be shutting down the 3 operative suites there and relocating the 3 ORs to Granite Falls. But that facility houses much more than those suites. We have 2 procedure rooms, 2 general procedure room, 2 endoscopy suites, a pain clinic, and we have a new set of services we're going to be moving into that facility. We also have the dialysis access center. So it's still, we're just switching out 3 rooms.
Okay, thank you.
You touched on the fact that there's going to be a mental health wing attached to the ER. Is the ER going to go through a significant upgrade as part of the internal improvements? Because the ER is kind of crowded whenever I've had to go there.
You know, so interesting, yes, the ER remains a very busy place. We thought the growth and expansion of urgent cares with 30,000 visits in urgent care would decompress the emergency room, but we still see about 28,000 people a year through our emergency room. That's the project after this project. You're never quite done.
Okay.
But it is needed, and it will be the next up at bat.
Telemedicine. What,
Yes.
what are you guys doing with telemedicine, and how is anything local being done with that?
Yeah, virtual healthcare is what we call it now. And we do offer one major virtual service, which is the telestroke program with Wake Forest, where we have a robot come into the emergency room and diagnose and treat folks that are having stroke, and then we direct the patients that need to Wake Forest. We also presently offer virtual urgent care visits through a 24/7 program where you can call online and look in your phone and do an office visit on your phone. We're looking at several other uses. We're looking at the use of virtual care psychiatry. So some of our psychiatric service that will be associated with our facility may involve virtual care. We're looking at an EICU, which would be an electronic ICU where you have intensivists in a bunker in some other part of the state or country, and they oversee and help assure the highest quality of care in the intensive care unit. We're also looking at some other subspecialties that might be manageable under a virtual care model, but it's 100% going to be part of the future of the way healthcare is delivered. My children do not mind a doctor behind a screen.
I don't mind that either.
We had a great, can't touch you.
Yeah, right.
And we had a great report on that at the last board meeting. Actually, people who have already had experience here in Lenore, who have already experienced that situation, and probably saved their lives. I mean, really, people you would know, won't bring it up who they are, but you would be surprised at how it's already.
It's a great way to get expertise to our community.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Really good presentation.
This is super exciting. I mean, the amount of work you guys have done since the merger is just unbelievable. And then I think as the community grows, we grow with you, you grow with us. Vital. I mean, what do people ask for when they come to a community like ours? They ask for good schools, they ask for good health care. It's always at the top. And so this is exciting to see as we try to figure out ways to attract new business and industry and people to live here. So I'm excited to see all this.
It has, and it's definitely changed over the last several years, especially since we have partnered with UNC Healthcare. It's just amazing what is going on and what is growing in our community. It's amazing.
And I would like to thank you all because you have been great partners in many, many aspects. I really appreciate your support. Great.
For the next month, my son-in-law is going to be living with me.
Okay.
Which is not a good thing, except he's here to do a surgical rotation.
Oh, okay.
He's a med student at UNC.
Oh, excellent. Outstanding. We look forward to having him.
He will be a maxillofacial
Oh, okay.
oral surgeon, which is,
Wonderful.
but he's rotating through for 30 days.
forward
Ed
to
Caldwell,
having
UNC.
Great. Oh, wow.
Great.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Laura, for coming and bringing us up to date on where we are. But we didn't touch on it, but the gala was a great success again this year, and that's been 20 years. 20 years,
It's our
that's right.
20th one.
20 years have been going on, and all the monies go toward growing our healthcare here in this community. So we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, we'll move on then. We do not have matters scheduled for our public hearing this evening, so we'll move to the consent agenda items consisting of minutes of the City Council meeting of Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018. We have minutes of approval of closed session minutes on Tuesday, September 18th, 2018, and Tuesday, October 2nd, 2018. These have been reviewed by the city attorney, the city council, and the city manager. And item C is engineering service agreements with McGill and Associates. This is a recommendation for approval of engineering service agreement with McGill Associates for future water treatment plant improvements in the amount of $64,000 and an engineering service agreement with McGill Associates for distribution system improvements in the amount of $84,000 for a total of $148,000. I'll open discussion, anything on any of the consent agenda items?
Make a motion, we approve consent agenda items as presented.
A motion from Mayor Pro Tem Willis to approve the consent agenda items A, B, and C as presented. Any other question or discussion? If not, all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Carried unanimously. Thank you. We'll move on then to, it's a time on our agenda, or requests and petitions of any citizens. If there's anyone in the audience that would like to address the council, this is the time to do so on our agenda. Most of our staff and certainly our wonderful guests we've had tonight, we thank you for that. So thank you. Okay, we'll move on. We don't have any reports of our boards and commissions, so we'll move on to the report and recommendations of the city manager, Mr. Hildebrand.
Mayor, council, there's quite a number of items for information this evening. The first will be we're hosting the Smoking in the Foothills Barbecue event, which will be held this Friday, the 19th, and on Saturday, the 20th in downtown Lenore. The public's invited to attend. There's a website. And what is the name of that website, Kaylin?
Name of the website?
Oh, SmokingInTheFoothills.com.
SmokingInTheFoothills.com. It has an outline of all the events taking place during the weekend, and expect a lot of folks in town for that. I think over 50 cook teams.
We're at 37 cook teams right now.
Okay,
and
30.
potentially could top over 40 in the next few days.
Okay, 40 cook teams, and I think they're having a band, the Coastline.
Jim Quick,
Jim Quick and Coastline, Friday
Coastline
night.
will be here on Friday night, and then we have a full lineup and schedule with our musicians, who was just letting me know that they're definitely on board. And we are not going to have any rain. We've been checking that every day.
We put in a request
There may be
for-
a little bit on Saturday morning, we see, but other than that, it should be quite nice. So the entire schedule is available at that website, and lots going on, so we really hope everybody comes out for that.
Thank you.
Bring a t-shirt in with one of the great sayings. Let's look at that while he's going over the thing.
The fall leaf pickup season began Monday, October 15th, and will end on Tuesday, January 15th. For additional information, you can go to the city's website, cityoflenore.com. One-stop voting is scheduled to begin tomorrow, Wednesday, October 17th, and go through Friday, November 2nd, from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. And on Saturday, November 3rd, from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. in the city-county chambers. The Lenore Tourism Development Authority will meet on Thursday, October 18th, at 3 o'clock at City Hall, second floor conference room. The Planning Board will meet on Monday, October 22nd, at 5:30, City Hall, third floor. The Committee of the Whole will meet on Tuesday, October 23rd, at 8:30, third floor, City Hall. The Foothills Regional Airport Authority will meet on Wednesday, October 24th at noon at the airport. The annual Caldwell siren event will be held on Thursday, October 25th, 8:30 to noon at J.U. Gold Hill Civic Center. Mr. Willis, do you want to comment on that?
No,
at all?
it's similar as in Caldwell hiring events past. 8:30 to noon. If you're looking for a job, there'll be one for you. Entry level, all the way up to up and beyond the management stuff. So if you're looking for a job in this area, there'll be a lot of opportunities there.
We have more events to announce. The annual Pumpkin Patch Parade took Friday, October 26th, 3 o'clock to 6 o'clock in downtown Lenore. You have the annual Halloween Carnival at MLK Center will be held on Wednesday, October 31st from 5:30 to 8. That's free for 12 years and under. So council, I guess no one can attend that from this.
Man. Free anyway.
It's free.
Missed the date.
Just missed by that. The also, I announced that the Light Up Lenore is November 15th, and the Downtown Lenore Christmas Tree Festival is November 17th. Christmas Parade's November 30th. Is that correct? Thank you. The William Michael Half Marathon will be held on Saturday, November 3rd, 9 o'clock at the Aquatic and Fitness Center. Mr. Rory, you're aware of that, right?
I've heard of that, yes.
Just want to make sure. City offices will be closed on Monday, November 12th, in observance of Veterans Day, and also on Thursday, November 22nd, and Friday, November 23rd, in observance of Thanksgiving holiday. A Veterans Day Memorial Service will be held on Monday, November 12th at 11 o'clock to 12:30 p.m. at the Veterans Plaza on the Square. And the City Council meeting of November 6th has been canceled due to Election Day. And the next council meeting will be held on Tuesday, November 20th at 6 o'clock in the City County Chambers. And that's the announcements for today.
Just to add on that day, that is Turkey Tuesday.
Turkey Tuesday.
It's on that November the 20th. The council member Perkins and I are 5th annual Turkey Tuesday, so we're expecting a great turnout. We'll be getting flyers out and start getting the police department, fire department ready to come out and support us, and all the department heads. So I guess we'll figure that out.
What's the date again?
It's Tuesday, November the 20th. It's Tuesday before Thanksgiving. Turkey Tuesday.
Yeah, the day of council.
We won't be We'll be handing out turkey.
Will the main turkey be there?
Main turkey, the jive turkey will be there.
Gobble, gobble.
How do we make contributions?
Yeah, so I asked, we'll have a flyer out, but you can still make, drop off a turkey on the day of, or you can make a voluntary contribution to New Covenant, and then we'll go buy turkeys.
Okay.
So we'll get more out to everybody. I do realize we don't have another council meeting
Yeah.
before we have this announcement, so we'll make sure we get it out and then get everybody on board.
Before you go to those items, Kaylin's got the T-shirts and things of the coming up. I wanted you to see those and see the great on the back.
Sawdust is man glitter.
Sawdust is just man
Sawdust is
glitter.
man glitter.
They're pretty cute.
And front is this. You've got
That's
this.
the.
Sawdust is man glitter, and then we've got, this is a good one too, it's grilling like a villain. That's probably my favorite.
It's got
I
the
think,
logo
Grilling
on the
Like a
front.
Villain. It's got the logo on the front. And then our branding, which is Woodfire Smoke. Woodfire Smoke.
Which is smoking up great barbecue in the furniture capital of the South. We are.
Is it available for purchase
Yes.
at the information booth?
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
Tonight we have the three items for your consideration. The first is an order of abatement for 823 Emerald Place. Staff recommends council adopt an order of abatement directing staff to abate the minimum housing violations by demolishing the structure on the property 823 Emerald Place. That's NC Pen 274808764, and that's parcel ID 06164-1-48.
Okay, you heard the order of abatement as read for 828 Emerald Place. I think everything has been followed through and properly notified and all the things that we're supposed to do before this is done. So open that to a motion or discussion.
Make a motion, we approve.
Motion to approve the order of abatement as presented by Mayor Pro Tem Willis. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? And that's carries unanimously. Every now and then you just have to vote, you know? Okay.
Okay, the next item is another order of abatement. That is for 1340 Fairview Drive. City staff recommends council adopt order of abatement, directing staff to abate known housing violations by demolishing the structure on the property at 1340 Fairview Drive, NC Pen 27485-63698, and that's parcel ID 06184-1-7. And that house, I think, suffered a fire at some point in time, and so you've seen the photos in your packet.
Okay, you heard again the presentation of order of abatement for 1340 Fairview Drive, as recommended by city staff. All the procedures that have been followed, of course, as are supposed to be. So I'll open that for any discussion or amendment.
Make a motion to issue the order of abatement.
Have a motion from Councilmember Purdue to issue the order of abatement for 1340 Fairview Drive. All in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Thank you. Carries unanimously. Next.
The next item is one we've been working on for many years, and I guess specifically the last several years. As you recall, several years ago, we bought a parcel at 132 Tremont Drive Park to house a fire station. In August, we received bids for that fire station, and when you count the upfit of the building, the total cost is around $2.4 million. Council rejected bids, and at that time, we started looking at other options. We approached a property owner that just recently built some structures out on Wilkesboro Boulevard. Specifically, the address is, I think, 1015. After some discussions, he was receptive to that approach, and we, in the last, I guess, 2 months, worked out a possible exchange for council to consider. We advertised that in the paper with given 10-day notice as required by the statutes. Essentially, what we would be doing is selling the parcel we bought at 132 Tremont Park Drive, which we purchased for $30,000 back, I think it was 2015. Selling that parcel for $38,000 to Martin Motorsport, Motorplex. And acquiring that property at 1015 Wilkesboro Boulevard for a total cost, and this is a set price now, and your packet had it not to exceed price, but we have a set price of $1,028,612 for that. I want to thank right now, before we go any further, Chief Hare, Public Works Director Wright, Planning Director Wheelock, and Finance Director Bean. There's been a lot of moving parts on this so far, and there's going to be more to continue if you approve this. Essentially, you buy the property, upfit those two buildings, but prior to taking title of the property, a road would be constructed on that property. It would come out on, I guess it's Taylorsville Road, or also known as Lower Creek Drive, to the rear of that. Also, the buildings would be, at least the back building, would have to be upgraded to a Category 4 building structure, which to meet the Department of Insurance requirements for that. So that would be done. Also, a connection to both those buildings would be complete, and then the stormwater requirements as well. So that's where you get the $1,028,612. Again, the property we purchased on Tremont Drive, we bought for $30,000. He's offered $38,000 for that. I've listed in the packet several reasons why we think this is probably a good idea for the city. First of all, it's located in our targeted station siting area. And we went back and tried to find a location for this fire department. It had to meet the criteria to meet the ISO ratings in order we go back and get the most benefit of that, and also to serve the area of the city that's been neglected for many, many years. This track is also larger than the track we had at 132 Tremont Park Drive. By having a driveway on Lower Creek and also on 18, you have access, so it's much better access for ingress, egress for our department. This provides an opportunity to have a station much quicker. If you had to go back and construct one from the ground up, you're looking at 12 months or so. This we hope to be in sometime in the spring of next year. Also, I think the better news is we're expected to spend less money. Our budget for the station at Tremont Park Drive is $1.72 million. We feel this will come in below that amount. Once we purchase the structure, we have to go back and upfit that structure, put sprinklers in the building, and create the bedrooms and all those variety of things. We expect to get that completed for a $600,000 range, so at the end of the day, we'll be below the 1.72. Another advantage is we get to dispose of property that otherwise may not sell on Tremont Park Drive. And lastly, I think the fire department personnel, and Chief Barlow's here tonight, I think they prefer this site now after looking at it and spending time evaluating it for the last 6 weeks or so. So with that, I entertain any questions you may have on this, but I would like to thank the property owner, Mac Martin. He's been very approachable, easy to work with to make this happen. I think he sees the benefit for the community. He lives in that community, he grew up in that community, went to school in the community, and owned a business behind this station. So I think he's very receptive to this as well.
Okay, you've heard the proposals as presented.
And one last thing to put on the record too, we talk about bidding of stations, and this is 4 projects have been bid in the county in the last 8 weeks. Caldwell County EMS spaces came in 56% over the budget. The Town of Hudson Police Department edition came in 36.9% over budget. Our fire station came in 39.5% over projected budget. Town of Gamewell last week took their bids for the new city hall. They came in 52% over projected budget. So I think maybe buying and retrofitting is a much better approach for us to go back and take.
You have to deal with those estimates being off by that much. I mean, okay, maybe initially there's not a response to the market, but after a while, shouldn't the estimates we're getting account for the fact that prices are going up? That's ridiculous.
I think many of these projects were going simultaneous, so I think a lot of these estimates were maybe 6 months ago.
Okay.
And haven't been updated. Okay. I know labor costs, if you talk to contractors, have gone up tremendously.
Yeah, if they're 6 months old, that might explain it, but if they said estimates come in last week.
Well, their bids came in last week.
Yeah, the bids
So
came.
all these are
Yeah.
estimates and bids.
Okay.
Maybe it's wishful thinking on the planner's part.
Sure, pay for wishful thinking.
No.
Pay for accuracy.
Okay, you've heard the recommendation from the city manager and staff pertaining to this purchase, and I guess also an authorizing resolution exchange of property. Does that cover it? I guess.
Well, the last thing I'd mention too, that this will not close until such time as we get the approval from the local government commission, which we hope to get on their agenda early next month. If not, it'll be December, but hopefully next month. And then also, Blue Ridge Electric, or Energy, we're getting a loan from them for $1.3 million at 0% interest for 10 years, and they have to sign off as well. But both parties are aware that we're moving in this direction, and the appraisal's coming back the next day or two, and they seem favorable as well.
All right, any other discussion or comments or questions?
This is a great, tremendous opportunity, and thanks to all the people involved. I'm making a motion we approve this as presented.
Okay, and a motion from Mayor Pro Tem Willis to approve, I guess we call it a purchase and
Land exchange.
Land exchange, okay. That's simplest terms we can put it in for this. So, any other questions? If not, all in favor, please say aye. Aye. All opposed? Thank you. Carries unanimously. And thank everyone for your hard work on this. I know it's been tough the last few days and weeks trying to pull it all together and get people to put estimates in and pull it and do all the things. I know Scott was pulling his hair out. Looks like there's a little left. He's got a little in there still, but a lot going on with it. But I think it is going to be a great piece for our city, something we'd be very proud of. Station 3 has been on our agenda and our minds for a good long time, and we've known it's well needed. It's going to protect not only 3 schools, but a lot of our citizens who live out in those areas, and it will be a great fit. And our fire department has spent a lot of time planning out how they're going to make it work and fit in protection out there. So we appreciate all the hard work. Service beyond measure at its best going on. So thank you very much for that.
That's safer for our fire department.
Yes.
Not having to come to Smith
Yes,
Conference.
exactly. Anything else that you have?
That's all I have.
Okay. Mr. City Attorney, anything?
No, sir.
We hope you had a great trip.
Did.
Yeah, enjoyed. They sent you back, we noticed, so I guess that worked out well. So glad you had a great time. Do have a couple of board announcements that I would like to present to you. I'd like to make a recommendation for the appointment of Shauna Banner to serve on the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board, and Mr. Ben Boaz to serve a term on the Lenore Housing Authority. Both we have open seats on. We still have another seat on the Recreation Advisory Board, which we will be working on as we look at, but we wanted a female to serve on the board, and Shauna would be a great fit to that. Has been very active in the recreation program, growing up in athletics and all that.
Basketball, I heard.
She played a little basketball.
Just a little bit.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
we
great ball player.
think she'll be a great fit to that board. And of course, Ben Boaz to the Lenore Housing Authority, and had a number of discussions with Mr. Deneen on this as we try to make sure the right fits for that, and always try to work with our leaders in that as we do. and everyone feels very comfortable. So I'll make those two as a recommendation to you. We'll bring that up at the meeting in I guess it'll be November 20th, yeah, since we don't meet at the first. And also, my term as the chairman of the Airport Authority is up for reappointment. I'm willing to serve unless somebody else would like to have that job. We can certainly work that out, but if not, I will continue. Not a whole lot, I can tell you that. But I'm willing to continue serving that. We have a lot of things, good things going on at our airport. It's taking off. Yes, it is. I like it. This guy's a stand-up comedian. But we do have a lot of good things going there, and the airport is turned around in a lot over the last several years. And a lot of good things happening, so I'm glad to be a part of that, see that continue growing, along with Morganton, Burke County, Caldwell County, and the city of Lenore, all are part of that Foothills Regional Airport. So I'll make those as recommendations too. Now, any other reports and recommendations from any of our council members? We did have a meeting today with the North Carolina League of Municipalities here in Lenore, a roundtable discussion meeting, and I thought it very went well. Mayor Pro Tem Willis, who is the board member on the league board representing District 10, handled the meeting, did a great job.
Thank you, sir.
And we appreciate that, and we got a lot of great insights from the league into what is going on. So we certainly appreciate that.
Thank you. Thank you.
We lost Mrs. Thomas there. But anyway, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I thought it was a great event. We had great turnout from multiple counties around the area. It's great to show off Lenore and show off all
We
the
had
stuff
over
that the league's
30
doing.
people, 32 people, I think, attended today, and it was a great turnout at Cafe 1841 downtown. So we appreciate that, and there are some meetings coming up. The Advocacy Goals Conference for the league is in November, and we will always try to attend that when we can. And then they are doing the state dinner again next year, which was very successful last year in February. And the league conference has been moved to May because of Hurricane Florence changed that. And I think they're now going to leave it in the spring of the year, it looks like, is what the league is discussing. So a lot of good things going on with our League of Municipalities, and we appreciate that partnership. We have several traveling to the NLC, the National League of Cities, in Los Angeles later on this month, next month.
First week
in November. So we safe travels, and hope you will bring back a lot of great information from that. Anything else to come before us this evening? If not, we stand adjourned.